So, have I explained the breakout of my family on the Zodiac thing yet? So, in my immediate family, right, we have two air signs, a fire sign, and a water sign. And that essentially means that we as a family are primed to destroy the entire world and not have any sort of earth grounding to keep us from doing so, which is pretty scary. And today we are going to be exploring the soap for my water baby. But before we do, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and today is day 201 of 365 days of soap, and we are making the Scorpio bar. Now, Scorpio bar, again, water sign. Soap and Clay kidlet number 1, water baby, and she fits the bill like nobody's business. She emotes. She is emotional. She is all of the things that I love and hold very dear. And I also have to interact with her a bit different than I do with, my Soap Clay Kidlet number 2, the fire sign, because their personalities are just so very different. And that's actually pretty true of all Scorpios that I have met, really. There's a bit of a sensitivity thing going on with them. And we're going to explore all of that and talk about Scorpios in general within the pour while we're doing the thing. So let's go. The making of the Scorpio bar. So this is a water sign, right? And therefore it will be used in, you will be using the, water pattern thing that was created for the Zodiac soaps. And this is actually one that the Soapprentices created, I think. I'm pretty sure they created it. I know that I had a hand in, I don't know. Maybe I told them this is what I wanted it to look like and they just did the thing. Regardless, I have not poured a water sign. Ever. Not one time in the history of the Zodiac line. Oh, that's not true. I did pour it one time. One time, but not the Scorpio. It was Pisces, I think. And the Soapprentice, well, this Soapprentice that's making it right now, George May, she didn't quite like my Pisces bar, and that's become the George May actually described it as, because I continue to talk about it years later, she described it as, this is, the Pisces bar has become the Ross and Rachel we were on a break. And I'm like, yeah, I guess it kind of has. So there's that. Anyway, so the water pour, it's a multi-layer design, right? And for each different sign we do different colors to go thematically with each different sign and what they are drawn to, but the pour remains basically the same. So it's a multi-stage layered thing within the pot swirls throughout the entire thing. And we also have some coffee in the bottom portion of it too, so it's a nice exfoliating bar, but really the coffee is there to provide some cool texture to the base of this soap. And we will, this all makes sense in the actual pour. So we're gonna go check out the pour now, and you can, see what it all does. Right, so the pour, again, it is a multi-layered thing. Really no sculpted layers going on with this, just sort of moving the batter around and kind of tipping the mold in different ways to make it all do its thing. Just so we start with the brown, and then you have a 2-color dark, and then a 2-color, and then it's all a thing. And with this particular batch, we have kaolin clay, activated charcoal, and red French clay going on in this. So lots of clays. And the scent blend is actually, it's really cool. It is a tomato and coriander. So it's very, very earthy, like not like hippie earthy, like, you know, patchouli and nag champa. It's like dirt earth. It's really good. It makes a great gardener soap too. This is a wonderful scent blend to put into a gardener soap for sure. But I really liked it with the for the Scorpio because the coriander is a little bit spicy and the tomato is like, you know, super, it's clean. And I really thought that was very fitting for Scorpios. And I actually have a Scorpio in my life. Soap and Clay Kidlet number 1 is a Scorpio, and God, she's delightful. She really is, but she's definitely a water baby. Like, she is my emotional baby through and through. And I completely understand that because, you know, I'm an air sign, but I cry over a lot of things. Like, I cry over beautiful things, right? So it's not uncommon to see me crying at least once a day. It's just a thing. But she cries like over just like, her world shatters when the smallest thing happens, and you really have to hold that with Scorpios and, you know, be understanding. And that's, you know, a challenge, especially when Soap Clay Kidlet number 2, she's a fire sign and she's just the exact opposite of her sister. She cries over nothing, but when she does cry, it's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal. So you got to pay attention. I was actually, as I was looking up this bar on the website to, you know, talk about it or whatever, I realized that I wrote this cool stuff on the website for the, you know, copy of the bars, and most of them were, I mean, they're all obviously all the research from the Zodiac and everything that obviously went into all of it. It went into the design and everything with the bars and what colors we select and what scents and all of that. But it also went into like the copy and what we decided to do with the copy. But this one was, I think, very much inspired almost exclusively by the Soap and Clay Kidlet number 1 because it's interesting. I wrote Scorpios are passionate. They believe in magic. They are witty and friendly. As a water sign, emotions fuel many of their decisions. Scorpios have a strong need for order and protocol and make very effective leaders. Incredibly fierce with a hint of fire, those born under this sign can become vindictive and jealous if crossed. So it's best not to cross them, because they don't forget a slight. If you have a Scorpio in your life, be loyal and honest and try to teach them how to share because they're horrible at it. And that teach them how to share thing, that's a thing. It's a thing with my Scorpio. Is that a thing with all Scorpios? Is that a thing when Scorpios get older too? Or is that just a kid thing? Because Soap Clay Kidlet number 1 is terrible at sharing. Like, she's the worst ever. But she expects everyone else to share with her. And so it's very, you know, complicated, really. And yeah, so I definitely wrote that completely with my Scorpio in mind. I love it. I think the only one on the website, now that I'm just kind of scrolling through this, that is as, like, you definitely wrote this for something else or intentionally about someone specifically, would be the Capricorn. And that's, well, it's not Capricorn time yet, so I guess we don't have to talk about why that is. But I don't know, looking at this copy, I think maybe I should go back and change it for the Capricorn, because that's, anyway. So yeah, we have the first layer that's going in. Again, it's an in the pot swirl that, you know, goes, and, you know, it's good that the soap batter is actually thick right now because she has multiple layers going on that she doesn't really want to break into, you know, each other throughout this pour, just because she wants to create the very kind of like, you know, waves, but waves that aren't just blue, really, because that's not, I mean, it's, well, I mean, it's water, but also it's Scorpio and, you know, fiery and all of the things. So the colors should be red and black, you know, like, and also those are the colors that they like. And so, but still, we want it to look like waves anyway, because still a water sign and all those things. So yeah, and once this first layer goes down with the black and red, it then becomes a red and white bar, and so that will be the next step in all of it. And the oil blend for this, see how thick that oil is right, or the soap batter is. That's because of the oil blend. This is actually, this is a heavy hitter as far as like moisture and everything goes, because this is, you know, Scorpio's November, so you're in like the fall winter months and everything. And for my fall and winter soaps, I tend to be pretty heavy on really moisturizing oils, and that usually for me always means shea. And so this actually has quite a bit of shea. So this is a 20% shea and 20% coconut oil and 20% babassu oil and 10% cocoa butter in this, and the remaining 30% of the bar are the liquid oils, and that is olive and canola. And yeah, so there's a lot of, you know, solid oils in this guy, so it's definitely going to thicken up, you know, immediately anyway. The tomato and coriander also does tend to thicken the soap batter, just because whenever you have spicy scents in, even with patchouli, if you play with patchouli in too high of, you know, quantities, there's some spice, and things get thick kind of fast. But again, for a pour like this, that's okay, because you want the waves that you're creating in the pot swirl. I mean, I would be upset if I was having to soap with soap this thick, because you do want the in the pot swirled so it looks like waves, but also again, you don't want them to break down into the, you know, the piece below. So, you know, it's whatever. Georgia May's gonna make it work because she's professional and she's awesome. And also, I've never actually seen this bar, I mean, like her making it. I've never like watched her make it ever. So this might be what it looks like all of the time. And I'm assuming that it is what this looks like all of the time, just because of, again, the oils that go into this, as well as the scent blend that tends to accelerate things. And that color right there, well, it's pink, right? It looks pink. It's not supposed to be pink. It's supposed to be red. So keep that in mind when when we look at the cut or whatever, and see if we still have pink. And then you can decide for yourself if, you know, C-pop is magical or, you know, completely overrated. And yeah, there's that. I actually saw something, you know, a couple days ago on one of the forums where somebody was essentially saying the only reason you C-pop soap is to gel. And I'm like, that's not true at all. But it's a really good reason to do it, to force gel, because, you know, when you get gel, all these colors really brighten up really nicely, and it's awesome, and everything's shiny and pretty at the end, and I'm here for that. Now, the final step with these is just sculpting the tops, and I actually love the sculpted tops for I love all sculpted tops, but every water sign is such a beautiful sculpted top. It's so lovely. And so it's a nice, you know, variation in the zodiac signs, really, because we have a couple of the bars that are the earth signs and the air signs are very straight at the top, and then the water sign is the sculpted top, and then the fire sign is obviously, it's made of slab mold, so it's, you know, kind of a textured top, but not really a sculpted top like this. But anyway, this is ready to go into the oven for C-pop, and then we will cut it and see how that red/pink looks. Okay, and on to the cut, and look how shiny that top is, and oh hey, that red looks pretty good, right? That is a nice burgundy, beautiful color. I am not sure what mica she uses for this. I would have used the Merlot from Brambleberry, just because I always have a crap ton of that. Always, always, always. But you know, whatever. And it looks beautiful though. That red did not stay pink. And the inside of that is beautiful. So look in there, you can get really good swirls, and you know, in the pot swirl and doing all the things, even if you have overly thick batter, which is, you know, that's good to know. Just file that away. And I actually like this. This looks a little bit different than the last, you know, round of the Scorpios that we did, but they always do, and that's the beauty of it. It becomes one of those cool, like, it's a landscape-esque soap. You can look at it and go, well, that's a mountain, or that's a volcano, or those are, you know, plains. I mean, whatever, you can do the thing. It's not quite soap Rorschach, but it definitely, you can see sort of, again, a landscape in so many of those. Like that looks like mountains, the red and white up on top, and the, you know, stuff leading up to the mountains and all the thing. But yeah, these bars are absolutely beautiful. Again, the scent is so strong, and it smells, again, like earth, not like earthy, like hippie scent. It smells like earth, like soil, like healthy soil. It's beautiful. Coriander is such an amazing scent, though. Like, it just smells, I don't even want to say clean. It smells healthy. It's a very, you know, like springtime and growth and the heat, whatever. So I guess, you know, that's a weird way to describe it, because this is not a springtime bar. This is a fall/winter bar, and, you know, whatever. Now with these guys, because again, they are the Zodiac soaps, and so therefore all of the soaps are getting cut soft, but they're also going to get stamped soft, because the stamp that we have, it's not an acrylic stamp, it's like a 3D printed stamp, and they work great. They're super awesome. I highly recommend just everybody buying a 3D printer. They're so cheap right now, and you can do like so much fun. You can do so many fun things with, oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, they're not super fun things. Like, you remember on Grey's Anatomy when they were using a 3D printer to like print tracheas and stuff? That was cool. That was cool. I assume that the real medical field is exactly like everything Shonda shows us on Grey's Anatomy, because why wouldn't it be? It's amazing. It's probably not, but I like it. And yeah, so these have to be stamped right away. Now, normally I would not stamp a bar this soft, because I'd be worried about sort of marring the surface. But again, when you're dealing with a plastic stamp versus an acrylic stamp, you got to do it, and you have to do it quick and early, and just deal with potentially, you know, marring the surface, because once these cure up for a few days, they will be way too hard for these little guys to go into. But, you know, right now, it totally works, and isn't that beautiful? And yeah, that's so pretty. I love the Scorpio sign. It's such a cool one. And with these bars, we usually stamp them either with the this gray, you know, mica here, or more of the Merlot. And it really does depend on who's stamping them, because I always go Merlot, and I think Georgia May always goes the charcoal color, and, you know, it's all a thing. And so, but I love them either way. It's very pretty and shiny. Now these guys also have the roller bottles, right, that come with them as well, and so it's all these cool essential oils that are put together for an essential oil roller ball. And Scorpio's is wit, and it's patchouli, clary sage, and vetiver to help the Scorpios focus their charm and let go of past hurts. And so that gets paired up with the cool Scorpio bar, and it's amazing, and we love all of the things. And that is day 201, the Scorpio bar. I cannot stress enough how awesome this tomato and coriander blend is. It smells like really bright and clean, but also like earth, like dirt, like wet dirt after a rain, but like healthy, but not in a gross way. Not like, hey, you're gonna smell like dirt. It's delightful. This particular scent blend would make a beautiful gardener soap, but because of the scent blends that Scorpios are typically drawn to, I felt like this was a really perfect scent to put into the Scorpio bar. And so that's what we've been doing since we started the Zodiac sign soaps in general. And so yeah, the pour, everything about the actual water signs, it's a very delightful pour to watch and to make. But again, I've only made the one water sign the one time, and Georgia May makes them all the time. So maybe she can weigh in below and let us know whether or not she likes doing them. If you're interested in the Scorpio bar or any of the other soaps that are in our Zodiac line, you can totally find them at soapandclay.com. They are paired with an essential oil roller bottle blend, or you can get them individually. Your call. If you're interested in following me on social media, I am there. Do the things: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you are interested in more soapy fun, subscribe to the channel. We are actually hitting a crazy busy season here within life, but you know, it's the holiday season and all of the things. And so we have a lot of really cool things in store, not only for like the making of the holiday soaps and all of that, but also we do cool giveaways every year around this time. So definitely subscribe so you can be a part of it, because I've actually never done this with my YouTube audience, because I am 201 days new in this whole YouTube thing. So this will be the first year that I actually include the YouTube audience as well. So subscribe. For those of you who are subscribed, lucky you, you already are a part of the thing, and you will be notified when I start doing the giveaways and all the things. So that's cool. And thank you so much for joining me for another round. I really do appreciate you. I hope you guys had a good time today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.